on. His working domains include embedded systems, machine vision, IoT, cloud services, AWS, app development, and augmented reality. So, with this introduction, I welcome you, sir, once again and request you to start the session. Over to you, sir.
Uh, Very good morning, everyone. Uh, so let me. Yeah. So coming to this session, uh, as as per the request of college, we will be discussing about. So we'll be discussing about some building IoT projects, right? So let's say from college there was a different requirements like to build some kind of home automation system or some kind of agriculture related system, right? So for any kind of IoT application, what all things we will be uh, using are almost common things. It's like there should be some end device, some controller or some processor which will be sensing this uh, send information from whatever physical device we are willing to control or we want to sense remotely. There, uh, the second most important thing is how we are communicating with that particular end device. Means we may create a different network. Say we are using different nodes, so we may connect those different nodes to a local server. There, well, local server need or even end devices can be physically directly connected to internet, right? So so which kind of protocols are being used while communicating from this node to your local server, or even directly if you are thinking of connecting a node to a cloud server, right? That can be done directly. So so communication from your local server to a cloud server. Then how we are accessing the data. Means say if we are just willing to view the data over the cloud, that won't be a complex thing. But say if we are willing to control something remotely, so we need to communicate from our mobile phone or some kind of web page, web interface, so that kind of things. So what all protocols are available and how we are communicating from one device to another device, one platform to another platform. So these are all things we will be covering in this sessions, right? So just by changing the end sensors and some controllers, we will be changing the application, right? So now coming for uh, so for now, um, we may start our session with uh, working with the Raspberry Pi and some fundamentals of Python, right? Means how to work with the RPi, right? Uh, just okay. So everywhere there is different blocks available. Say, just first let me share my screen. Okay. So generally we can casually search onto any blog how to install OS on Raspberry Pi. Right. So there you will see 100 blocks and a blog which is uh, written by the organization of Raspberry Pi, that is raspberrypi.org. Right. So here is where we can. This is a site where we can download the operating system. So there for Windows, Linux, and Mac. So every operating system there is a different procedure for installation of this operating system, right? So here you can see that you can download. So hope everyone can see this window. Right. So in Raspberry Pi, different operating systems can be installed, right? So there, uh, okay. Raspberry.
Sir, sorry to interrupt, sir.
Hi. Yes,
Shall we do these steps in parallel with you, sir?
no issue. You can. So
If you
just
don't mind.
I'm saying what thing we can do is uh, instead of searching on Google and say you're getting some wrong link, it may waste our time. So all those activities which I'm doing are already written on in some blog. So yesterday I have created this site. Just share the link. Sure. So here is the site link where you can get details. So this installation of sorry installing operating system is where we have complete procedure and where from where you need to download relevant softwares and operating system. So here you have link.
Sir, sir,
Uh,
to do this project, is it Raspberry Pi is mandatory, sir?
um, so college didn't specify that which hardware need to be used. So I have chosen Raspberry Pi so that many things can be learned. So even if you are thinking to use any node MCU or any kind of end device, it doesn't matter. So what all
Sir,
things we'll be learning is uh, how we'll be dealing with different protocols. So it means like when we are installing a cloud server, we can run HTTP and MQTT servers from your cloud machine, and from our end device, we will be communicating to that MQTT or HTTP servers. Right. So these similar protocols can be executed on a node MCU or any end devices. Means like almost all say this kind of hobby kits are coming with those libraries. Right. So RPi is one which can be uh, where we can install an operating system and do many more things. It's like it's almost equivalent to our PC. So I thought that would be better for learning. It's like as I have seen on the first day, on second day, um some faculty have taught about Node MCU. So I thought it will be more beneficial if I conduct it on RPi. That's it. So shall we continue?
sir, sir, we are
Uh,
having only PC, sir. We are working from home, so
no,
we don't
that's
have.
okay. So the thing is, the RPi which I am using, the same RPi can be accessed from your PC also, where you can code and the hardware, whichever things you are controlling, can be viewed on this camera.
So we can do in parallel with you these things,
Yes,
whatever you
yes,
are doing.
definitely.
Thank you, sir. Sir.
Hmm? That is not an issue. So here we can see, so different operating systems are available where Raspberry Pi, desktop, and many more things. Raspberry Pi Lite. So this desktop is an OS which comes with UI interface as well as all recommended softwares. Where this comes with only uh, desktop is the UI, where software need to be installed as per our requirement. Then coming to this is just a terminal based console based operating system. So similar to that, there are many more their operating system, Ubuntu server and many more things. Say for first time, I think Windows also have given some OS for this for free of first time for free of cost, right? So you can choose whichever operating system you want, but the most often used one is this Raspberry OS, where you can download this. And the installation for this, we need a software called Win32 Disk Imager. So this is a software which actually works in Windows operating system. So the OS installation part can be physically exactly seen when I switch back to Windows. Now whatever I'm using is an Ubuntu operating system, right? So I'll show you how we can connect to this server, right? Sorry, it's connect to the RPi. So, uh, so after loading this Win32 disk imager and uh, mm, downloading this operating system, we just need to insert a SD card to your PC. Then, say by single two clicks, we can install the OS. Right. So you don't have to worry. When I switch back to Windows operating system in next session, I think at 11 we have a next session 11:30. That time you can see. So the switching of operating system which would take some time. Right. Now, say after installation, say what all things we need is, the first thing I'll do is I'll show you our Pi kit. So here you can see we have an Raspberry Pi, right? So it has USB ports and HDMI port and many more things, right? So at the back end, you have an SD card slot, right? So in this SD card, we will be installing the operating system. This is like a hard disk in your PC, right? So once I'm installing an OS and if I'm inserting it here, right now to this I have connected USB keyboard and mouse, right there. Now here you can see there is a power cable, sorry, power port and a HDMI port. So what I'll be doing is, so just installation of OS is what I'm skipping for now. Now consider this is a card with OS installed in it. So I'm inserting in it, and say there you can see connections over here. So what I'll be doing is I'm connecting a HDMI cable to this, where I'll also connect a power cord. So I have connected a power supply to it. So so after connecting, there you can see that some LEDs will be blinking, and whatever uh, thing. So this is the operating system which is being running on your Raspberry Pi. So it is almost like your Windows PC, right? So Ubuntu version it is. Uh, so this way. So this has a beautiful user interface where you can have so you can open browser or many more things. So what I'll do is I will uh, connect internet to it. Is being connected, and here is our sessions link. So it has a browser inbuilt it. Right. So here I will go on. So here we can see uh, desktop of. So here I'll present it from my Raspberry Pi. So hopefully everyone can see this. Yeah. So here I'll just paste here. And as we are sharing the screen of Raspberry Pi, here you can understand how exactly the operating system is. So can everyone see this screen of Raspberry Pi? So now, as I have said, this has many inbuilt features. It's like it's similar to your Linux operating system, and we can do some other activities also, right? Like as it has physical uh, header pins connected to it, we can connect any kind of sensors to it, and we can uh, connect to some servers and many more things. So from where we should start is, so this is the terminal where we will be working in for this rest 2 days. So in this terminal, you can see uh, it is similar to your Linux operating system. Now, everyone need to connect to this server, so we need to know its IP and how we can connect to it remotely is what we need to see, right? So the first thing, there are two commands where ls will show me list of files present in the directory. Then what next you can see is, so already have installed a software, something called as ngrok, which will help me connecting to this. Into this. So here is a link uh, which can be used. So I'll better type it here into this chat box. So the same link can be used in your PC to connect to this server. So, so it is like 4 dot tcp dot talk dot io dot aq dot 161. Sorry. Address and port number is 18161. Right. These are two things which I have shared onto our chat box, right, which will be used for connecting to the Raspberry Pi.
Sir, can you please, if you don't mind, can you please repeat the steps from
Huh. So
going to
now,
where?
what all steps I have done need not to be done from your side. So the things is, somehow we need to connect to Raspberry Pi. So to connect to Raspberry Pi, I have installed a third-party software which is called ngrok. So this I have installed it a long back. The installation procedure I'll explain it later. But initially, I am just creating a link in which I have shared in the chat box. There are two things. First one is the server's address URL. Then second one is port number. Right. Using these two, we will be connecting to this Raspberry Pi, which I have the terminal which you can see on the screen. Right.
Sir, what is the difference between server address and port number, sir?
Huh. So the URL which you can see is generally whatever this browser you will be using. So can you see my screen? One second, just let me present.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
So there, to every machine, whichever, sorry, in every machine, there will be different servers running in backend, right? So every service or server, whatever is running in background, will be having some specific port number. Now, this Google Meet, whatever you can see, this is actually running on port number 80, right? So if generally if after this uh, you with this domain name, if you are writing here as port 80, by default your browser will be running on port 80. So
Hello, sir. Sir, you are not audible, sir.
okay, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, actually I have changed the URL itself of Meet. Um, so there. So the details are related to is like say how exactly the port number works and how the URL will be working will be understood when we will be dealing with Apache server or some kind of Python based servers in our further sessions, right? You not to worry about that. So for currently we will be using the uh, link given by which I have shared in the chat box. Okay, the chat is also missing. Uh, so what you will be doing is just give a software. So you can search on your browser. Can you see my screen? So here I will be searching for a software called Putty. In this here in putty.org. Here we have a software which will be used to connect to this Raspberry Pi. Right? So this actually works in Windows operating system. So you can download this from here. Uh, in this also there are different things. Say for Windows, we will be downloading .exe. Now I have running all running on Linux. So what I will do is I will just share this. So you can use this link uh, to download this software. Right? Now after downloading this software putty, so it will be looking something like this. It is just around 50-60 KB. so application, which will be directly executable. Right. So you can just download it and click on it. You will see this kind of UI. Can you see some putty configuration or something?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So in this, two important things you will be seeing is first one is host name. So means the address to which you will be connecting, right? So in that address space, just again I'll type the same thing, 4 dot the thing which I have shared into your chat box, tcp dot ng proc dot io. Right now, into this port, I'll be typing this port number. So it will be 18161, right? And by default, it will be connecting to SSH. Now, once if I click open, so it will ask, do you want to connect to your server? You can say yes. Right. Now, into this, it will be asking your login name, means to which by using which username you are willing to connect to this Raspberry Pi. So the username is Pi. So that also I'll be typing here. Here this is the username, and after typing username, it will also ask for password, right? So the password is Raspberry. So whenever I am typing something Raspberry, it won't be visible. Just you need to type it blindly. His password, the characters will be hidden, right? So I'll type also the password. So Pi is the username and Raspberry is the password using which you will be connecting the server. So after connecting, you can see the terminal is same as that of your Raspberry Pi. So here you can see Pi at the rate Raspberry Pi. The same thing you can also see on your Raspberry Pi's terminal. So as if I'm just switching back to this, so in this RPi you can see the terminal is Pi at the rate Raspberry. The same thing which I have received is I got access remotely from any location. So did anyone else connect to this have connected to this Raspberry Pi? So just three things. First thing, you need this putty.exe. So in that putty.exe, what thing you will be typing is, just once again I'll close this, right? So in this putty, here you can see there is a possibility to type the host name and port number, right? So this host name will be the one which is provided by this ngrok server, right? So it is 4 dot tcp dot ngrok dot io, right? And the port number which you can see is 18 dot, sorry, 1861, right? Just two things you'll be typing, and if you click open, we will be able to connect to this Raspberry Pi. So for the first time, it will ask, do you trust this server and you want to connect? For second time, it won't ask. Now here you'll be typing username as pi. Thereafter, you will be typing password as Raspberry, Rasberry. So done. So this way we will be able to connect to this server, say Raspberry Pi. Now, as we are using Windows operating system, you need this PuTTY software, right? But if you are using a Linux operating system, it's the one which I am using here. Right? Here is my terminal. Now this is my PC where it is Vedam desktop, right? Now from this I can connect to the same server by using SSH key, SSH, thereafter username at the rate, uh, same address, dot tcp dot ng dot io. Port number 1861. Right. It will ask, do you want to connect to this? I will say yes. It will ask for username. It will ask for password. And give password as ASTPERRY Raspberry. So here you can see I have connected to this Raspberry Pi device, right? Hopefully, at least few of you are able to connect to this. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So did anyone connected to the server? So this RPi.
No, sir.
Uh, so what is the issue?
Sir, can you? Uh, I opened that website, sir. Vedamlab.com. After that, I went to blogs,
Uh-huh.
Internet of Things.
Mm.
From there, I missed, sir. I am not able to connect.
Okay. So just the thing, I have shared a few more things in our chat box. There you can see a link which can be used for downloading the software using
Okay.
which we will be connecting to the server,
Okay, sir.
to any cloud server or even this Raspberry Pi, right? So just by clicking this, you will be able to download this putty.exe software, right? So the same putty.exe software will be used to connect to your Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
So
Okay, sir. I'll try, sir, now.
so once this downloading is done, you can just run that particular application. Whenever you are running the application, I can see. So here is a putty application where you will be typing the IP, the address URL which is given by your or ng server, which is 4.tcp dot ng io, right? And the port number is provided by application is 1861. 161.
Sir, this host name, how to get, sir, this IP address?
So this is actually obtained by running a ngrok application on our Raspberry Pi. So ngrok is a service provider, third-party service provider, which will help us to communicate from one machine to another machine remotely, even using SSH, secure shell communication. Uh, so there, already I have installed this software on Raspberry Pi, so just to save the time. Right now, just by running the application, we will be able to obtain its uh, URL. Right now, this is the host name and this is the port number. Right, using the same host name and port number, you will be able to connect to this Raspberry Pi. So I'll just even share this again. So this is the host name and this is the software link, and here is the port number. Right, so just by clicking this link, you will be able to download the software. Then this is the host name which we will be typing in the OT software, and this is the port number using which we will be connecting to this Raspberry Pi. And the username which we will be typing is, say for first time it will ask, do you want to connect to this server? Then yes, by typing yes, it will ask for username and password. The username is pi, and password is raspberry, RASPBERRY.
Sir, I have downloaded that putty software, but when I
Just
try to run, no, it's giving an error, sir.
what kind of error?
Just a minute, sir.
So are you using Windows operating system? Surely.
No, no, sir. Ubuntu,
Uh,
Ubuntu I'm using, sir.
okay, already you are using Ubuntu. So from Ubuntu, you need to you can type by command. So just how you will be doing is uh, so here you can see. Okay, sorry. So once again, the port number is changed. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So once again, due to some pressing around some wrong keys, the session has been closed. So again, if I am running this ngrok server, the host name is changed to 2.tcp-ngrok.io, and the port number is 4040 4, 3, 4, 4, 2. Right. So these are two things we will be using. So when you are working it from Linux operating system, so this is how your terminal will be looking. From there, you just need to type SSH. So what you will be typing is SSH, there pi at the rate. So whatever the URL I have shared, minus p, the port number 14342, 14342. Yes. So this is the command which will be typing onto your Ubuntu terminal. Just by typing this, it will ask for you type password RASPBERRY.
Sir, pi is your username, no, sir. What?
Yes, pi is the username, at the rate the server's address, space minus p. P is for providing port number. By default, it will take port 22. That we are changing it to 14342. So this will be instantly generated by our ngrok server, using which it will just link to this Raspberry Pi, redirect the control to your Raspberry Pi. So once you type the password, in between it may ask, do you want to connect? Are you sure you want to connect? You just need to type yes, as I have typed here. And once you press enter, it will ask for password. There you can type Raspberry.
Sir, it is saying that authentication of host can't be
Ah,
established.
so that is what I'm saying. There at the end, it is asking, are you sure you want to connect to,
Yes
you
or
want
no?
to connection? So there you will be typing yes
Yes, sir.
and
Uh,
press enter.
Again, it is asking, please type yes or no for the fingerprint or the fingerprint.
If you type yes, yes, not Y.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah. Now it's asking for password, sir.
So there you type Raspberry, RASPBERRY,
RAS Raspberry.
RASPBERRY.
Berry. Permission denied. Shall I try once again, sir? Raspberry. R is capital, sir.
No, 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 small. Actually, I have
RAS
shared in the P for parrot.
Raspberry. PERRY.
P, Raspberry, RASPBERRY.
Yes, sir.
I have
Yes, sir.
shared it on the chat box. Raspberry.
Okay, yeah. Raspberry. Mistake. I'm doing mistake, sir. RASPBERRY. BERRY. Yes. RASPBERRY. Still, it's coming like permission denied. Please try again.
Uh, Actually, it should give permission. So just you can copy and paste this
Yes.
SSH as it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, there in place of pi, my name should come, no, sir? Pi
No, no,
at
no, 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 no.
same
The
only, right?
username of the Raspberry Pi,
Okay, 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 sir.
the a username which is it's like the user session which is running on Raspberry Pi. So that user's ID we will be typing.
Yes, sir.
You just copy paste as it is. You will
Yeah.
be able to connect.
Yes, yes, sir. I have done, sir. It's now connecting, I think. Will it take some time, sir?
No. Should-
Showing blank screen. It's taking, seems time.
Okay. So you can just wait for like it take some time. I don't know.
I'll try once again, sir.
Okay. The connection is lost actually. Okay. So once again there is an error.
Shall I try once again, sir, now?
So once again I'll just
Okay, sir.
started this the file. So those who are using it from Putty, the softwares, just you will be using this part as username and this as port number.
Shall I use this one, sir? Recently,
Yeah.
what you have?
No, no, just now what I have shared.
Yes, sir.
Is it done?
Yes, sir. It is asking password, sir. Password is one three. Sorry, it's
No,
my.
no, it's Raspberry Pi.
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
Yes.
Raspberry. RASPBERRY.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Able to connect, sir.
Okay. So hopefully you can see this Pi at the rate Raspberry.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I'm getting pi at the rate Raspberry Pi.
Yep.
Is that okay? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. So somehow you at least one participant is able to connect to this Pi. The rest of them can just watch. I think the session is also getting recorded. You can rewatch it later by taking access from your college. Uh, so there. Now In terminal, you can do what all activities you will be doing using a geographical user interface, right? So there, whenever you are opening some kind of folder or window in your Windows or in your operating system, you will be able to see different kind of folders, files in different iconic, say in icon format, right? So in terminal, you will be able to see the same things in text format. So here you can see this A, so whatever this B desktop. These are all folders which are shown in GUI in some icons, right? There, this is a white in which you can see that is a file, text file. This SAM, what you can see in green color, this A.out, which you can see are some executable files. There can be a PDFs or images or different files that may be shown in different colors. So it depends upon what type of terminal you are using. So if I just change the settings of this terminal, all the things which you can see will be in the same color, right? So to see what all files present in our directory, we have a command is ls, which will show you the list of files present in the directory, right? There, now if I want to go to some directory, so if I want to go to this desktop, right? So in this desktop, uh, I'll just type cd. Cd is a command to change the directory, where I'll type cd space desktop. So there you can see uh, what all things are present on my desktop, right? So better to understand these things, I'll do is I'll switch back to my Raspberry Pi. So what I will do is just make this again. I'll present it from my Raspberry. So here you can observe this is uh, now this is my desktop, right? So what I'll do is I'll open a terminal here, right? So here I will be typing the commands. So here you can see I'm typing ls. So it is showing me the list of files. So here I'll go to desktop. So there you can see few files present on my desktop, right? So there you can see this is the IP address, which is a folder, right? So this C practice is another folder, right? So in this C practice you have three different files, right? So if I want to go to this C practice, what I'll be typing is cd C practice, right? So here if I will check, there you can see those three files. Just if we cross check it, so here you can see the same files. First one is a.out, second one is test1.c, and third one is test.c. So here, using this graphical user interface, we can see it as an icons, but basically everything that runs is uh, the same. You have files, and it is this terminal is showing in text form, and your window is showing in your iconic form, right? Now, using this command, we can do what all things you are doing here. So here you will create a folder, right? So the same thing I can create here using this command. Just what I'll do is, so here to create a directory or a folder, we have a command called mkdir, where I'll type a new folder's name as test folder, right? So there you can see new folder is getting created here, right? So there, if I want to create a text file, I have command touch test file dot c or something dot py, I will say. So here you can see a file named test file.py is being created, right? So similar to this, say if I want to edit a file, what I'll be using is I'll open it with some kind of editor. So this, so here you can see this is something called as mousepad is an application using which we can type something in that and save the file. So while saving it will ask, do you want to save? Save, right? So the same way you have different editors, right? This is again mousepad, the LibreOffice, and so there are many different editors to edit a text file. Similar to this GUI, we have editors in our terminal also, right? So there we have VI editor, uh, nano editor, such kind of things.
Sir, sorry
Yes.
to interrupt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, already test folder is there, no, sir. Why do we need to create, make directory with the same?
No, no, just I have shown how we our terminal actually uh, creates a file or folder in GUI. That's it.
Okay, sir.
So you need
Sir,
not to
yeah, no need to create, no, sir, that one.
you need not to create. So the
Sir,
thing
what?
that you will be doing is creating a Python file to control to write some codes related to hardware or something related to server. You can write it anywhere.
Okay, sir. Touch is a what, sir? Touch command, what it does, sir?
That is, it will create an empty text file. That's it.
Okay.
So
Okay. Its
there's
name is
type.
testfile.py.
So that can be anything. You can
Yes, sir.
create your own names file, which you can remember.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
So this the next command which we will be seeing is nano, which is an editor text file editor. So using nano, I can edit this text file which we have created is test file dot py. Test file dot py. There, there was something present in this which I have typed in the GUI using GUI text editor, right? So I can just remove this temporarily and write some simple Python code. So Python code, I'll just write as to print something. I just type namaste, right? So control X, Y. So control X is to exit. Thereafter, it will ask, do you want to save the file? There you can press Y, then press enter. You will be out of that editor. So once again, if I open, just remember, so this is something I am editing in it, right? And into that file, once the thing is done, and if I am pressing Control X at the bottom, you can see few things like this up arrow indicates control key, and the next to that, so there is some alphabets and its description, right? So this is something which is like similar to Control S in our Windows operating system. Control R is
Sir,
control.
I'm also using the same file name and I'm also printing something, sir. I want to print something. So both of us we are using the same file at the server, I think.
Are you using, yeah, into the same directory?
Yes, sir.
Same directory, same file.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So you not to worry. Just I'll do one thing is I'll just first exit. Right. So just the thing you need to do is you'll press Control X. Then it
Yes, sir.
will ask, do you want to save the changes?
Yes,
At
sir.
the bottom you can see the save modified buffer. There you will press Y. Then you will press Enter. This
Yes,
is
sir.
how to come out of the editor. Right. So after me, if you are typing something, there you can save it later after editing. So what I'll do is I'll create another file, nano. So this is m mohan.py is my file name, where I'll say again print, where I'll be typing uh, something like this, right? So I'll press Control X, Y, Enter. This is how I have saved the um, Python file. Right now, to execute this Python file, I'll just type Python file name. Right, printing the message which I have typed in print statement. Right. So similar to this, I can do many more things. So if your code is properly written, I'll just try to execute that
Sir, I
part of.
can able to run the file, sir.
Huh?
I also can able to run this Python file, sir.
So here it says has typed something. Thank you, sir. Right. So this way we can create files, create directories, and execute codes using terminal. Right. So most of you might already be knowing, but at least for few of them we need to repeat these things. So I have repeated it. Right. Now, uh, coming to this, uh, we also need some fundamentals related to Python uh, for further sessions. Now it is similar to that of C and other programming languages. Just almost all syntaxes are same. Uh, just few things you need to remember, so that differentiates other programming languages is uh, this is a scripting language. So where you will be, whenever you are executing, it will execute from your first line to last line. You need not to compile it. Right there. This print statement, it has different syntax in different versions of the Python. Now this 2 version is almost outdated, so we have to use the syntax of Python 3. Right there. Now, what further things? Say if I want to use some variables, so consider I have some variable x is something 34, right? So consider y is uh, some string. Here, the interesting thing is you need not to specify anything, say like your C or Java, right? It's like whenever you are assigning some value to a variable, if it is for first time, it will allocate memory for it, and it will create a memory of that particular data type which you are assigning to the variable, right? Say if I'm assigning some integer value, this ls will x will become an integer object. This y I am assigning some kind of string. There you can see it will be of string type, right? So this way it the interpreter Python's interpreter will take care of assigning memories or the handling this objects which I am creating x, y, z. If I am writing it as uh, this is some float, so your z will be of type float, right? And even for printing activity, uh, I need not to specify whether I am printing an integer or so this I am saying x is equal to or x is, right? So directly whatever value I have, I'll just write as x, right? Or just I can directly print value of y, right? I can print my different data types into a single print statement x comma y comma z, right? So there you need not to specify what data type you are printing in it, right? Now I'll just press Ctrl X, Y, enter, and if I'm running it, Python, that's fine. So there you can see it is was first printing x is 34. Thereafter it is printing SF SELF, whatever string we have assigned to y. Then it is printing three variables x, y, and z. Right. So this way you can uh, use print statement to play with different data type variables, right? There. Uh, Now, what next thing we have is into this nano the file, right? So in the same file. So what thing we need is some kind of loops, you can say. For before that, I may also need type something called as list, right? So I'll say is L is equal to some kind of list. So this is different information which I want to store as a array of some values, right? So these are different data type values, right? So there I have given integer, a string, a float into a single list, right? So this is similar to your array in C or other programming languages, right? Now, how to use this list is I can just print the entire list, right? There I can print some specific element in it. It's L of 3, I can say, the indexing using the index values of uh, the elements in the list. There I can print in different possible ways. I can give even negative indexing. I'd say it is -1. That means the last index, which you can see. So this is index 0, this one, this is index 1, this is index 2, and this is index t. So this second print statement should print this one. Then this is -1, this is -2, this is -3. And so if I want the things to be executed from, like I want to pick element from last position of the list, means I don't know the size of it. So I can even use negative indexing, right? Now into this, So what I'll do is, to avoid the confusion, I'll just comment out the unnecessary things by using triple quotes, so like single quotes thrice. So I'll just comment out this, right? So this part is commented, right? So it will just execute this value assigned to a L variable and printing the values of this L, right? So just I'm saving it. So again, if I'm executing, there you can see first it is printing the entire list, then it is printing your specific single element as third index, then it is printing the last index value, right, as we have given -1. So if I change some values, you will be able to understand. So if I'm asking for a value at second index position, you will get 578, the third index position. This I will say again, I want -2, right? So here you can see the first statement which we have printed is the values, the complete value which L is containing. The second one is the second index position. Means this is zeroth index position, this is first index position, this is second index position. And then the next one is uh, the third index positions value. Then its next one is -1 index. It's the last most element. Then its next is the second last element, this one. So this way we will be able to um, use a list and elements present in it. Right. Now, what next we can do is using loops. Right. There, for loops, we have. So what I'll do is I'll comment out this part also. Right. So generally we have already used some kind of while loop or something. So I'll say I'll use counter is a variable, but there is no constraint that it should be counter. CON or empty. Your wish. Any variable. I can even write my name. Right. This I'll write it as 0. Right. Then while syntax is similar to that of C, while I'll say this my CNT is less than 10 or something. There, the interesting thing is here in Python you don't have any brackets for your blocks which you're writing. So if you are writing, if I'm writing for C, what I'll be writing is so I'll say this is print CNT. There I'll ask to increase this. CNT is equal to print plus 1, right? So it keeps on incrementing. When it reaches 10, it will come out of the loop. But in Python, you don't have this brackets, right? So there it creates confusion whether this print statement is inside or outside, whether this CNT increment is inside or outside. To avoid those kind of confusions, you need to give an indent. That indent can be a tab or two tabs or space, multiple spaces, right? So tabs and spaces can be used to create an indent, or you can say this is a block which will execute inside this while loop. right? Now, uh, inside this while we have written something. This is uh, I will say to one thing is print inside while print. This is outside. So there you can observe. So what I have done is I have written a while loop in which I have written writing a condition, and here I have written three statements. First it will print, then it will increment, then it will print some string, right? So thereafter, after completing this loop for 10 times, it will come out of the loop and print the statement once, right? Now, sometimes in previous versions of Python, the syntax was something different. So it can write something like this, right? And there we can even combine some other conditions also, something. So we don't have any write anything. So just to say the conditions and the statement, while statement is done, uh, we used to give a colon, right? So this was a standard practice, like syntax, which was created when initially the Python version, right? So the changes you can observe is here we have a colon after this your while statement. Then there are no brackets. So instead of curly braces, we are using this tab, or even if it is a space, that will also work. It's two spaces, but all the statements which we are writing inside it will be having same indent, same number of spaces. Right? So just once if I press Control X, Y, enter, and if I run this, so there you can see. So it is keeping on incrementing the value of CNT, and it is printing this inside while for 10 times. Then once it's reaching 10, it is coming outside the loop and it is printing this outside loop statement. Now, uh, similar to this, just let me know, is there any break uh, at this 11:30?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have break, sir.
Okay, so till what time?
10 minutes. Sir, we have 10 minutes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we should stop at this while loop. So we can continue further session uh, at sharp quarter to 12.
Yes, sir. Sir, I lost, sir, small query, sir.
Hmm.
I lost a connection to that Raspberry Pi, sir.
Okay, so I'll just once again share the link to check what happened. Okay, so I'll do one thing.
The latest link that you have posted, sir, at 10:59 a.m. Can I use it, sir? Or
Just
by
once again
clear?
try the same link if it works, or I'll restart it.
Sorry, sir.
Use the same link.
Okay.
No, 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 not that one. 10:59.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Rest all others, those who have not typed it, they can try it in this break time. So just you need putty.exe software. Thereafter, you'll be using this username, sorry, login name, sorry, host name as 8.tcp.ngrok.io. Then port number, instead of 22, we'll be typing this 13485. So is it getting connected?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got connected, sir. Thank you, sir.
If you are just keeping it in halt, I mean, like if you're not typing anything, the session will be closed.
Okay, if I do not type, automatically will get closed, sir.
Session time is a bit less.
Okay.
So there are some configurations to avoid that also, but for now we can
Yes,
see
sir.
when see that after this.
If I again gets disconnect, can I use the same link, no, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.